Ladies and gentlemen, could I welcome you to the 3MT, the 3-minute thesis for this SPARC conference. If you've not witnessed what one of these is about previously, let me just tell you, you're in for a good ride. It's essentially one single static PowerPoint slide, and the presenter has literally 3 minutes, and I'm going to be absolutely ruthless as the chair of this afternoon's session to keep people to their time. So when I indicate that the 3 minutes is up, I'm afraid you will then have to stop midstream, possibly, in order not to give an advantage over and above other people. It's quite a formidable task which our presenters have, and I'm sure you'll be very sympathetic to their courage and preparation to be able to essentially condense their PhD thesis, or at least one feature or an aspect of that, within literally 3 minutes, and try and do it in as an imaginative and as interesting way as possible to as broader audience. I think we're going to see some really good presentations. A number of them have come through a sort of competitive structure in individual schools where they've competed against other students and have then been selected to come to this final this afternoon. I'm delighted to introduce to you as well our two examiners, our two assessors for the competition. We've got Janet Morana, who's the Knowledge and Transfer Manager in the Research and Enterprise Office here at the university. And we've got Sean Hill, who was the 3MT winner from last year. I was actually one of the judges last year and thought that Sean did a very good presentation. I'm sure our students today will try and keep up that very high standard. They're marking essentially on a criteria based on comprehension, engagement and communication. So they've got, a fairly sort of objective set of measures by which to judge the performances, and they'll rank them in terms of those indices, and then after the event they'll obviously converse with each other and come to some agreement as to who should be the overall winner. And the announcement of that will be made tomorrow at the award ceremony, so I'm afraid you're all going to have to come along to that to find out who has won. The winner, as I understand it, for today's competition will receive £200 in Amazon vouchers. Ooh, can I hear? And then will be able to go forward to the semi-final of this competition, which is a national event. I have to say that the whole event is being filmed, and what will happen is that the person who succeeds in the competition this afternoon will then automatically go forward to the semi-final, and if they're successful, will then go on to the final, which is being held in September. And I'm not sure what the awards are for that, but I think they're pretty formidable. So we've got a stake here, both in terms of individual students and different schools that are competing against each other, but potentially also with the University of Salford against other institutions. So hopefully we're going to be in for a great occasion. Is there anything else I need to say? Only the way we're going to do it is to take about 3 presenters back to back, one after the other, and then what we're going to do is invite some questions, have about 5 or 10 minutes for queries. And I'd like to see everybody, each of the presenters, at least have 1 or 2 comments or queries fielded to them. So I'm very dependent on your goodwill and your willingness to interact and to participate in this conference, and therefore to give these students a little bit of feedback on what you liked or thought about the presentation, but more importantly, queries about the substantive nature of the research which they're doing. Okay, so that all have been said. Could I introduce the first presenter, which is Nadine Munro, who's from Salford Business School? Would you give her a very good round of applause, please?